Making high-performance motorcycles affordable for everyone has been the core principle behind Bajaj's Pulsar line since its debut in the early 2000s. They marketed it as giving power to the people. Now, over 2 decades later, Bajaj continues this tradition with the Pulsar NS400Z. The most powerful Pulsar yet boasts impressive features like a 40-horsepower engine, advanced electronics, and a strong frame, all at an incredibly low introductory price. But the question remains, does it capture the essence of what makes a Pulsar? That's what I'm here to investigate. The NS400Z, hailed as the largest Pulsar ever, demands unparalleled performance. To achieve this, it utilizes the robust 370-3C single-cylinder engine found in the Dominar-400, itself stemming from the second-gen 390 Duke. This serves as a solid foundation. Setting it apart from the Dominar, the NS integrates a ride-by-wire system facilitating 4 distinct riding modes: road, sport, rain, and off-road, complemented by switchable traction control and ABS maps tailored for each mode. Power-wise, the engine mirrors the Dominar's tune precisely, with the sole mechanical alteration being a slightly larger 46-tooth rear sprocket. Generating 39.5 horsepower and 35 Nm of torque, it meets the latest emission standards and accommodates up to 20% ethanol blended with petrol. With its near 40 horsepower capability, the Pulsar NS400E exhibits impressive agility in various scenarios. This can be attributed partly to its lighter weight, approximately 18 kg less than the Dominar, significantly enhancing its performance. Offering a well-defined mid-range and robust top end, even its low-end performance remains enviable. One slight annoyance is the lack of smoothness at the lower end of the RPM range. From the moment you start moving until you reach around 5,500 RPM, the bike vibrates noticeably at the foot pegs, seat, handlebar, and tank. However, once you exceed around 70 km/h, the bike begins to feel much smoother. It's easy to maintain a comfortable cruising speed of 110 or 120 km/h for extended periods, with ample power available for swift overtakes without needing to downshift more than once. The throttle response may feel a bit heavy initially, requiring some adaptation. At slower speeds, the throttle can be a bit jerky, but this smooths out as speed increases. Generally, the gearbox operates smoothly, though occasionally a gear may feel sticky. The clutch action is light, contributing to a stress-free ride. The different riding modes do have an impact, and while the traction control system can be overly intrusive at times, it can be deactivated in sport and off-road modes, which is beneficial. Engine heat is well managed overall, with noticeable heat only becoming apparent during slow-moving traffic situations. What defines the Pulsar's identity is its perimeter frame, sourced from the NS200 model. However, Bajaj assures us that this frame, along with the box-type swing arm, has been strengthened to cope with the increased power generated by the 373cc engine. The frame is supported by a 43mm USD fork setup at the front and a monoshock at the rear, both provided by Endurance. The bike is equipped with 17-inch wheels at both ends, with a 110-section tire at the front and a 140-section tire at the rear. The handling feels more like a classic Pulsar than the sharper NS line. Unlike the confidence-inspiring NS200, this bike feels a bit jittery and unstable, similar to older Pulsars. This is likely due to the bias-ply front tire, instead of a radial, and the suspension setup. The suspension absorbs bumps well but rebounds too quickly, making the bike feel like it's bouncing on the road instead of gripping it. This means you have to wait a bit longer for the bike to settle when braking hard before entering a corner. The non-radial tire also contributes to a vague feeling in the front end. Upgrading to a radial tire would improve handling significantly, but the suspension also needs adjustments to truly excel. The brakes use twin-piston calipers on a 320mm front disc and a single-piston caliper on a 230mm rear disc. Braking is sufficient, but not great. The front brake could be more aggressive. However, the ABS performed well in sport mode. The comfort of the NS400Z is excellent. You sit in a tall, upright position with your feet slightly back. Unlike the NS200 with its clip-on handlebars, this bike uses a wide one-piece handlebar like a true street fighter. This gives you more control and reduces fatigue on longer rides. The seat height of 805 mm is comfortable, and the weight of 174 kg is lighter than the Dominar, making it easier to maneuver at low speeds. The silhouette of the NS400Z is identical to the NS200. Even in terms of dimensions, it seems largely the same. What's new is the graphics and some details like the headlight. You have new Z-shaped DRLs that flank the LED projector lamps. Behind that, you have a new flat handlebar that sits below a new digital instrument cluster. The tank is largely similar to the NS200 with new graphics, of course. The split seats and the rear section are also almost identical to the NS200. What Bajaj has done is give it a fresh look by way of a new headlight and graphics, while keeping it in line with the rest of the range. The NS400Z is loaded with features. It has a ride-by-wire throttle with different riding modes you can choose from. There's also switchable traction control, and the ABS settings adjust based on the chosen riding mode. The instrument cluster is a modern digital display with a color LCD screen showing all the essential information. It even has a smaller screen within the main one that displays trip details, riding modes, and connects to your phone for things like calls, music, and navigation. This system is easy to use with buttons on the left handlebar. As an extra bonus, the levers can be adjusted for a perfect fit. A true Pulsar is exciting to see, thrilling to ride, and most importantly, easy on the wallet, and the Pulsar NS400Z delivers on all these points. While it's not perfect, the incredibly low introductory price makes many of the minor issues fade away. Upgrading the front tire to a radial option shouldn't be too expensive and would significantly improve handling. So, if you're looking for a fun and affordable 400cc street fighter, the NS400Z deserves a serious look. As always, guys, I hope you liked the video and all the information. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. And if you want to support me, remember to leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share the video on social networks. Until next time.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted.